Hello, anyone please respond. 30, 97, 17. Are you getting my voice?
Sir.
30. Am I clear?
Sir. Yes, sir. Interesting, sir.
Okay, congratulations, 30.
Sir, why, sir?
I think you have selected.
Yeah, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. What is the package?
2.2, sir.
Okay. So, what about screen? Is it visible?
Yes, sir, it's visible, sir.
Okay. Any company first participate and get the job. Okay, begin interviews కూడా participate చేయమ్మా. That is the practice.
Sir.
All the best.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, we will wait for a few more minutes. I will start at sharp 10:10. Sir, when will your first meet? Do you have an idea? Okay, no problem. Sir, now we are in second unit. We have 4 more units are there. Okay, in that 4 units, 3 are very simple and small units. Okay, concepts are very relevant to you, very easy. Don't worry. So I think in ultrasound, in NDT, radiography, ultrasonics, and these 2 chapters have more syllabus. Okay. Remaining chapters basic knowledge is enough, and content also very less when compared with these 2 units. Okay, don't worry about that. I think no textbooks in our library. Only one textbook is there. That is also in reference. Okay. Don't worry. Don't bother about that. I have a textbook. Okay. I'm preparing notes from this textbook. I will send that notes to you after completing of each unit. Okay. That notes is enough for your preparation. Okay. Don't bother about material for study material. I will provide. Okay, I will try to send first unit notes today itself. I have prepared that. After completing of this chapter, I will also send the second unit notes also. Third and fourth units are very simple and units, and content wise, and both content and concept wise, those 2 units are very simple, both as third and fourth units. Okay, and the last unit also, I think very small unit. Okay. Please start preparation from now. What is the time now? It's 10:10. Okay. Good morning, everyone. Our today's concept is methods, ultrasonic testing methods. Okay. Here we have different types of tests methods for conducting the ultrasonic test. Okay. The conduction of test is depending on different parameters. That is the nature of product. Okay, what type of manufacturing process which is used for manufacturing that object, that is also decides the method adapted for testing by using ultrasonics, and surface condition and geometry and accessibility of scanning area. Okay, these are the main parameters, okay, which influences the choosing of a particular method for conducting ultrasonic methods. Here we have three methods. Basically, we have three methods for conducting ultrasonic test. Those are pulse echo method, through transmission method, and resonance method. Okay, one is pulse echo, through transmission, and resonance method. Basically, we commonly used methods are pulse echo and through transmission. These two methods are mainly meant for finding the defects in the object, and the resonance method is there. This resonance method is mainly used for finding the thickness of the material and also finding the properties of the material. Okay, generally we are using methods of pulse echo and through transmission method. Which method we have to choose for testing is decided by different parameters, that is nature of product, manufacturing process, and surface condition, geometry, and accessibility of scanning. Okay, these things decides the which method is we have to choose for conducting the ultrasonic test. Okay, first method, pulse echo method. Okay, in this method we are sending short pulses of ultrasonic waves. Okay, here we have one transducer. It is acted as a transmitter, both transmitter and receiver. Means it sends short pulses into the material, and at the same time it receives the returning waves from the material object. Okay, so the pulse echo method has only one transducer, which is act as both transmitter and receiver. Okay, here the main concept is we are sending short pulses into the object. If there is any discontinuities in the object, okay, these sound pulses are reflected from that discontinuities, okay, in their path. Okay, based on echo received from the material, we can identify the defects under the object. Okay, and next, here we have a CR reflected waves are received by same transducer, as I said. Okay, now the results, the reflected waves and waves are we can observe on the CRT screen. Okay, here based on the echo formed on the CRT screen, we get two kinds of informations. One is the relative size of the discontinuity in terms of amplitude. Okay, and based on we have a peak. Okay, a peak on a screen, CRT screen. Okay, based on the size amplitude of the peak, we can identify the size of the discontinuity, and we can also get the information related to the depth of the discontinuity. Okay, this is based on, we can find this based on the CRT time based scale. Means what is the location of the discontinuity, we can identify by using pulse echo method. Okay, based on the time, how much time it takes to reflect. Okay, based on that we can find the depth of the location of discontinuity. These two informations we can identify based on the echo formed on the CRT screen. One is size of the discontinuities, second one is location of the discontinuities. We get this information regarding these two things, okay, on CRT screen. Next, okay, here we have only single transducer as a, this is act as both transmitter and receiver. Okay, this is the, see this is the diagram shows the pulse echo system. See this here, this is the transducer, both it is act as both transmitter and receiver. It sends waves through a object and it receives the waves, reflected waves from the object. Okay, see this here A. Okay, there is no discontinuity inside the object. These are the echoes formed in the on the CRT screen. Okay, A, this is the echo of transmitted, this is the reflected echo. Okay, here we have a defect here a discontinuity inside the object. Now the probe is moving towards this end. Okay, we are sending sound waves and we are receiving the reflected sound waves. Okay, some sound waves are reflected from the this discontinuity, means those sound waves are not reached to the end of the object. These are reflected from this object. We get some echo here. We see here we have a small echo. This indicates the defect under the object. Okay, here A is the transmitted echo, C is the back echo, means which is reflected from the back surface of the object. Here in second the scanning, what we get, we have an extra echo. This indicates the reflected sound wave from the discontinuity. Based on this size of this echo, by observing this echo, we can get the size and location of the defect by using pulse echo system. Okay, the main advantage of this method is, okay, one surface is enough. One finished surface is enough for conducting the ultrasonic test, because the transmitter and receiver is same unit. So no problem to there is no problem to maintain the receiver on the other side of the surface. So one surface is enough. Okay, if you have one clean and finished surface, we can move the probe on that surface. We can test the entire object based on that surface. That is the advantage of this pulse echo system. Okay, what is the limitation? The main limitation is, okay, the area which is nearer to the transducer, means the subsurface defects, means the defects which are nearer to the surface of the object, we can't identify those defects by using pulse echo system. Okay, because we are sending and receiving the pulses from the same transducer, the surface, the defects which are nearer to the surface, we can't identify those defects by using this pulse echo method. If you want to identify the defects which are nearer to the surface, we have to arrange one special arrangement, that is, we need a shoe. Shoe means we are arranging an extra material on the surface of the object. Okay, then we are moving the probe on that surface. We have some distance from the surface of the object. Okay, then only we can identify the defects nearer to the surface, subsurface defects in the object. This is the main limitation in the pulse echo system. Okay, now I will show a video. See this video. This way you can easily understand by see this animation video how to conduct the ultrasonic test by using pulse echo system method. See this. Just right. This is the workpiece. Okay. Now we are going to test this workpiece by using ultrasonic waves with the help of pulse echo method. You know what is ultrasonic waves? Simply the oscillations is created by the some disturbance, means the some disturbance creates the oscillations in the particles of the objects. Okay, that is the sound waves. Suppose this is the transmitter and receiver. because this is the pulse echo system. Okay, we are creating vibration, means the sound waves. We are sending sound waves into the material. The particles in the material oscillates. If you arrange a rigid stop at the end of the object, automatically the wave is reflected from that rigid stop. Means we are sending wave through material. At the same time, we are getting reflected wave again. Means we are getting the wave reflected from the back surface of the object. Okay, we are receiving the, here we have two waves. One is transmitted wave, which is moving in forward direction. Second one is a reflected wave, which is reflected from the back surface of the object. Okay, based on these waves, we can find the defects under the object. This is the sound wave. See this. This is both act as transmitter and receiver, because it is transmitting the wave, at the same time it receiving the sound waves. See this. This is the workpiece. This is the defect. This white space is the defects under the object. Now we are sending wave and we are receiving the wave. Okay. It takes some time. Okay. Now we are sending wave. See this. The wave, half of the wave is reflected because of discontinuity. Means the wave is reflected from the discontinuity. The wave not reaching the end of the surface because of this discontinuity. Based on this wave, we can find the discontinuity under the object. See this. This is the pulse echo system, because transmitter and receiver is same system. Transducer act as both transmitter and receiver. See this, how to recognize the defects on a CRT screen. Okay, CRT screen, we have this is like, this is the intensity, this is the time. Okay, now see this. We are sending wave. This is the transmitted wave echo. This is the back wall echo, means reflected wave echo from the end of the surface. Now we are sending, see this. Here we have a defect. This is the echo, extra echo, because of the defect. See this. Here there is no back echo, because total wave is reflected from the defect itself. Okay, if defect is very large, okay, if you send the sound signals, okay, that discontinuity will, if the discontinuity reflects the total wave of sound wave, there is no back echo which is reflected from the back surface, because the wave is not going towards back because of discontinuity. Based on this, we can find the discontinuities in the object. See this. The CRT screen is appears like this. Okay, this is the object. This is the probe. This is the transducer. I think this is the both act as a transmitter and receiver. Now we have to, while testing by using ultrasonic, we have to apply the some couplant. Here we are applying some oil. This is gel type gel. This is act as a couplant. Okay. Already I explained about couplant in previous class. Okay. Now we are moving. See this echoes. Echoes are formed on this. Okay. What is this echoes? These echoes, okay, represent the discontinuities. Okay, I will don't okay, we will see in detailed manner. Just wait. See this. Here we got some echo here. Okay, and now what is the reason for this echo? We will see now. Okay, based on the amplitude of the echo and width of the echo, we can identify the location and size of the defects under the object. We can measure the width of the echo and the height of the echo, that is the amplitude of the echo, for finding the size and the location of the object. This is the software. Based on that, we can find the width and see this. Here we are sending the sound waves and we are reflecting the sound waves from the back surface. This is the back echo. Now there is a discontinuity. What happened? This is the back echo reduces. This is the echo due to the defect. Here, this is the back echo. reflected from the back surface. See this, here we have a defect. Here these two echoes due to the defects, because defect is uneven, okay, that causes echoes in different manner. Okay, now we see the testing of railway parts by using pulse echo system. These are the railway axles. Okay, here now we are testing the defects under the railway axle by using ultrasonic method. See this, now we are testing the object. Now we are applying some oil as a couplant. Now we are moving probe inside the object. This is the probe, ultrasonic probe. Okay, now we are moving the probe inside the object for finding the defects. Okay, don't worry, this video also shows the animation. Wait for that. Okay, this is the ultrasonic machine. See this is the axle, this is the hole inside the axle. Okay, this is the probe. Okay, the probe, already see that. This is the angle probe. For measuring the cracks inside the axle, we are producing angle probes. See this is the crack. Okay, here this is act as transmitter and receiver. This is the pulse echo method, but here we are using a probe that is angle probe. Okay, because if you use the straight probes, the crack is parallel to the sound waves, so we can't identify the crack. That's why we are using angle probe for finding that. Here these are the echoes which shows the discontinuities under the object. Okay, this is the pulse echo system. Next one, the second method, that is the through transmission method. Through transmission method. Okay, in previous method we have only one transducer which is act as both transmitter and receiver, but here we have two transducer. One is meant for transmitting the wave and second is meant for receiving the wave, because here we need two surfaces, two parallel surfaces. At top of the surface we are moving transmitter, at bottom of the surface we have receiver. Both should be in aligned position. Okay, because the transmitter sending the waves, at the same time the receiver receives the wave sent by the transmitter. Okay, based on the traveling time of the sound waves from the transmitter to receiver, we can identify the discontinuities under the object. Okay, you know how much time it takes to travel the sound wave from the transmitter to receiver. Is there any delays? That indicates defects under the object. So in previous case we need only one surface, finished surface, but here need two finished surface, one for transmitter, one for receiver. Okay, here the parameter is time taken to travel from the transmitter to receiver. Okay, one more thing, the main disadvantage of this method is, okay, it is its inability to locate the defect. Means we can't find the exact location of the defect. We can identify the defects under the object, but where it is we can't find. Okay, by using this method. But in pulse echo method we can find the location also. Okay, and one more advantage of this is we can find the near surface defects. Means what is the disadvantage of pulse echo method is we can't find the near surface defects, but we can find the near surface defects by using this true transmission method. Okay, see this is the true transmission method. We need two surfaces. This is the one surface, this is the second surface. Transmitter is moving on this surface and receiver is moving on this surface. Transmitter sends the sound waves and receiver receives the sound waves. Both should be in aligned position. See this. This is the sound wave, this is the transmitted wave. Okay, this is the receiver. Here see this, the echo is reduced. Echo is reduced. because of some defects under the object. Okay, if you have an defect under the object, so there is a delay in the sound wave transmitted from the transmitter surface to receiver surface, that indicates the defect under the object. Okay, just see this video. It will somewhat it will explain the through transmission method. Someone send a probe means, what is probe? Sir, probe means the transducer, okay, which is in hand, the part which is moving on the surface, that is probe. Probe is nothing but transducer. Okay, the transducer which is moving on the surface, the thing which is moving on the surface means which is used to scan the surface. That thing, that object is called probe. Is it clear? 47. Now see the through transmission method. Here we have two separate probes, one is transmitter and one is receiver. See this. Here we are measuring the time. This is the transmitter, this is the receiver. Okay, here we are collecting the time. This is 100%, means no flaw. Here 50% means there is a flaw inside. Okay, 0% means we receiver are not receiving any signal from the transmitter, means there is a defect. We have a large defects under the object which completely restricts the sound wave from the transmitter to receiver. Okay, based on this we can identify the defects under the object. Okay, here our reference is receiver. Based on the receiving sound pulses, we can identify the defects under the object. See this. I think not playing or playing. Just right. See this, the principle of technique, you can see this. This is the workpiece, this is the transmitter and this is the receiver. Okay, the sound waves are moving from transmitter to receiver. Okay, 100% the waves are received because there is no defect. Here see this is transducer and receiver, but part of the waves only received by the receiver because there is a defect. Okay, the defect is 50%. Okay, here see this, the total waves are restricted by the defect, means we are getting 0 pulses on the receiver. Based on this we can identify the defects. This is the through transmission method. Next method is resonance method. Next method is resonance method. Okay, resonance means, you know, okay, resonance condition you have already studied in your previous classes. Resonance. Okay, at resonance we have high amplitudes, we get high amplitudes. Okay, that causes distortion, you know that. Okay, here we are using the frequency, resonance frequency, for finding the thickness of the material. Sometimes we are using this resonance system for testing the bonding quality of a test object. Okay, these two things we can find by using resonance system. Okay, in resonance system we are sending continuous longitudinal waves. Okay, those are transmitted through the material. Okay, once we are measuring the frequency of the sound waves, once the frequency is reaching its resonance range. Okay. Okay. At resonance condition, the thickness is equal to 1/2 of the or multiples of wavelength. You know that frequency, the wave have sound wave have some wavelength. You know, based on the frequency, we can find the wavelength of the that sound waves. At resonance condition, the wavelength has some proportionality with the thickness of the material. By using that proportionality, we can find the thickness of the material with the help of wavelength. This is the principle of resonance method for finding the thickness of the material. Okay, see this. This is the test specimen. We are sending the sound waves. Here we are getting some echo here. Okay, based on this echo, okay, we can find the wavelength, and based on that we can find the thickness of the material. Thickness of the material. So why to necessary for transmitter and receiver? Not transistor, it is a transmitter. One is for transmitting the sound waves and the other for receiving the sound waves. Mr. 47. Okay, but what is the disadvantage of this resonance system? The disadvantage is if thickness is more, if the object thickness is more, okay, the accuracy of this resonance test will be decreases. Okay, the resonance test is mainly meant for finding the thickness of the object. Okay, you know, the thickness is you can find the thickness by using different scales, but by using ultrasonic test also we can find the thickness. Okay, by using resonance method. Here, the basic principle of finding the thickness of the material is some proportionality is existed between the thickness and the wavelength of the frequency at resonant state. Based on that, we can find the thickness by using ultrasonic test. These are the three methods used in NDT. Next one is we have other modes of operation in ultrasonics. You know, first we have to know the modes of testing. Okay, previous slides we have seen the methods of testing. Now we can see the modes. Here we have two modes. One is contact mode, second one is immersion mode. Contact mode is generally we are conducting the tests in contact mode. Okay, in immersion mode we are immersed the object in the water. Okay, we are moving the probe on the surface, okay, under the water. That is the immersion type of testing. Now we see the advantages and disadvantages of contact and immersion mode of testing. Okay, here in contact mode we have to use the couplant. Already I told couplant means we have to apply some water, oil, grease between the probe and the surface. Okay, we have more advantages with this couplant. Okay, so couplant is necessary in contact mode of testing. But in case of immersion mode, okay, the water is act as a couplant. So no need of couplant because we are conducting the test under the water. So water is used as couplant in immersion mode. Okay, we have conduct the different types of tests. So both method we can test the object by using ultrasonic methods. We can use pulse echo method and transmission through transmission method in contact type mode, and at the same time we can use these two methods in immersion mode also. See this figure shows the contact mode. This is the transmitter, this is the receiver, but here both are in same surfaces. Here we are using angle probe. Okay, so that's why we are transmitter and receiver on both sides, same side. Okay, but if you use the longitudinal waves, then you have to maintain the transmitter on one side and receiver on other side. Okay, see this is the flaw, this is the test specimen, these are the echoes, this is the transmitted echo, this is the reflected echo, this is the echo from the defect. Okay, this is the contact type, means we are conducting the test in open surface, open environment. Okay, now come to the immersion. Okay, in immersion test, okay, we have to use the waterproof transducer. Okay, here water is act as couplant, as I said in earlier. Okay, and one more thing, this method provides testing flexibility, and a transducer can be moved underwater at any desired angle. Further, the transducer doesn't contact with the specimen, but in contact type, the probe should be contact with the surface of the object, because we should move the probe on the surface of the object, so there is a chance for the wear on the probe. Continuous movement of the probe on the surface causes wear and tear on the probe. Okay, we have to replace the probe after wear out. So for avoiding that, if you can follow the immersion method. In immersion method, there is no contact between the probe and the surface, because there is a medium, that is water, used as a couplant. So we can avoid the wear and tear in the probe by using immersion methods. And one more advantage of immersion method when compared with the contact, that is we can adopt the high frequencies. We can use the high frequency sound waves in immersion method when compared with the contact method. Okay, and automation also possible in immersion methods. Okay, immersion method have more advantages when compared with the contact method. See this. This figure shows the immersion method. See this. This is the water. This is the immersion method for pulse echo method. This is the angle beam method. Okay. Here we have a water, means the object is immersed in the water. The probe also underwater. Okay. We are transmitting the sound waves. Okay. To by using this probe through the object. Okay. Here water is used as a coupler. Okay, see this. Probe is, there is no contact between the probe and the surface. Okay, still we can use the ultrasonics. We can avoid the contact between the probe and work surface. We can save the probe from wear and tear. These are this figure shows the immersion method of the ultrasonics. See this. This is the immersion method. You will get some basic idea on this. This is the object. Okay, in immersion method, this is the automated type ultrasonic test. First, basically we are keeping the object underwater. Okay, this is the probe. This probe is automatically moving. There is no manual movement. We need not to apply manual movement. Okay, there is an automatic movement because this is the ultrasonic automatic type of ultrasonics. See this. The probe is moving underwater. There is no contact in the between the probe and the water. Okay, so rapid movement also not damage the probe in immersion method. Okay, in immersion method also we can use the 2 transducers also at a time. Okay, one more thing. Here also we can change the mode of waves. We have 2 types of waves. One is longitudinal waves. Second one is transverse waves. That is also called as shear waves. Okay, we can use the longitudinal and shear waves also in immersion type testing. Okay, there is we can use through transmission method also in immersion mode. See this. This is the true transmission method in immersion mode. Here we have a transmitter and receiver, both are under water. We have a separation between the water is separated the workpiece and the probe. There is no direct contact between the probe and the workpiece, so we can avoid the damage of the probe. See this. Here A is the transmitted echo, C is the flaw echo. Okay, B is the front surface echo. Here we have a water in front of the object, means there is a gap between the probe and the object. It is filled with water. This front causes some echo, that is the front surface echo in immersion mode. Okay, the third one is the echo due to the flaw. Okay, next method is angle beam testing. Okay, up to now we have seen only the normal beams. Normal beams means normal probes. Okay, sometimes normal probes are not recommended for detecting those are not suitable for detecting some defects, some kind of defects. In that case, we are using angle beam testing. See this. Here we are the crystal which is generating the vibrations. Okay, the transducer has keep in certain angle. With the help of wedge, we are keeping the transducer with certain angle. The wave is transmitted in inclination manner. Okay, if you send the wave sound waves in inclined manner, then it is called angle beam testing. Okay, why it is necessary? Oh, I will show one video, then I will explain. See this angle beam testing. Why angle beam testing is need? When it is needed, you can see in this video in clear manner. See, this is the object. We have a flaw like this. Now, if you test this object in this manner, in the straight manner, okay, here sound wave is parallel to the defects. So we can't identify the defects because the defect is parallel to the beam. But if you send the waves in inclined manner, you can find the defect. See this. We are sending the waves in inclined manner. Okay, the flaw in this direction, we can easily find the intensity of the defects. Okay, we can't find the intensity of such defects by using normal probes. Normal testing, we can't find such kind of defects. Only angle beam testing only we can find the defects. Okay, here see this. Okay, here AB, BC. AC is the AB is the half skip distance, AC is the full skip distance, and AD is the half skip distance from the. Here we have angle. This is the angle of moving of the incident beam. We need some calculations for finding the defects by using angle beam testing. Okay, when angle beam test is needed, some defects which are not identified by using normal probes, then you go for angle beam testing. Some defects are only can be identified by using angle beam testing, because straight beam testing is were not worked out in that case. Okay, we can't decide, there is no defects by based on the straight beam testing, because there is some defects which defects may be missed due to the orientation of the defects. Because of the orientation of the defect may gives a wrong indication in straight beam test, then you go for angle beam test. Okay, in angle beam test, we are converting the longitudinal waves into shear waves. More conversion is there between the long waves. Okay, longitudinal to shear waves and shear waves to longitudinal waves based on the application. Suppose we can use this angle beam test for finding the defects, subsurface defects, which are the defects which are nearer to the surface. Okay, here see this. Okay, by changing the angle of this crystal, we can produce the surface waves. Okay, already I explained the surface waves and shear waves and longitudinal waves in mode variation, mode conversions concept. Okay, in this, by using this concept, we can convert the longitudinal waves into surface waves. We are sending the surface waves along the surface. We can find the defects under the surface which are nearer to the surface in angle beam testing. Okay, now next concept is testing of products. We are generally testing different kind of products. Okay, what are the different parameters we have to consider while testing the different types of products? Okay, first one is castings. Okay, we can use ultrasonics for finding the defects under the different castings. Okay, but the application of ultrasonic is limited in case of castings, because castings means we are preferring castings when we need complex shapes. Okay, most of the complex shapes are manufactured by using castings. So because of the geometrical problems, limited applications are there for ultrasonics in castings. Okay, because if the castings have more complexity in shape, we can't conduct the ultrasonics in effective manner. Okay, so the application of ultrasonics in castings is limited due to their size, because castings are very high size are there, more thickness castings are there. So that is also one of the reason for the limitation of ultrasonics in castings. And shape and thickness, surface roughness, the surface roughness is also not good in case of castings. So and coarse grain structures, means in castings we get coarse grain structures. That is also one of the reason for the limited application of the ultrasonics in castings. Okay, means we can inspect the flat castings by using ultrasonics. The complexity is more, then we go for other NDT tests. Okay, next, rod products. Okay, these ultrasonics is best suitable for rod products. What is rod products? Rod products means standard shapes, means the materials which are under standard shapes, then the products are called rod products. Means ingots and billets. Billets means raw materials. Means generally the raw materials are obtained in terms of in the shape of billets, sheets, rods, plates, bars. Suppose we are getting material from the steel plant. Okay, the material which are raw material which is from the steel plant always in shape of billets or sheets or rods or plates and bars. If the products are in the shape, then those products are called rod products. Okay, testing of these rod products under ultrasonics is very easy, because all rod products are under standard shapes, so you can easily find the defects under the raw materials by using ultrasonic test because of geometrical sections. Now we have different types of raw products are there. Means sometimes we get rods in rectangular shapes and square shapes and round shapes. And how to use ultrasonics in that case? Suppose, see this. Suppose we are testing the ultrasonics rod products by using ultrasonics. So suppose the rod product under shape of rectangular or square. See this. Suppose we are testing in this direction. If the fly is perpendicular to in this direction, then easily we can find the defects. Suppose the defect is parallel to the beam, then we can't identify the defects. In that case, we have to make the scanning in two directions. Means in transverse direction and longitudinal direction also we have to scan the product. Okay, this type of precaution should be taken in case of rod products. Suppose the rod product shape is in a circular shape. Okay, see this is the flaw. Okay, in this orientation we can't find the flaw because here the beam is parallel to the flaw. But in this position, means if you scan in this direction, then you can find the flaw. So 360-degree scanning is required in case of round type of products. Okay, next, okay, forgings. Suppose if you are testing the forged objects, okay, we are using angular beams, because forging means we have some complex shapes. Okay, we can straight beams are not suitable in for testing, for finding the defects under the forged products. Then we are preferring the angle product. See this, we are sending the sound waves at certain angles, reflect based on the reflection we can find the flaw here. See this, here we have a shoulders, here the scanning in this we are sending the wave at an angle, the reflection we are taking. Okay, if you scan in this complex areas also, okay, by using angle beam we can easily find the defects. Okay, next one is, suppose if you are testing complex shapes like this is a actuator casing. Okay, here the straight beams we can't use straight beams because the scanning of complex shapes is very difficult. In this case also we are using angle beams. Okay, suppose this is the casing. Here we can send the beams at 60 degrees angle. We can find the defects under the such kind of casings. Okay, next one is weldments. How to test the weldments by using ultrasonic tests. Okay, it's 10:55. Okay, in next class I will explain weldment products. and other type of products which are used for which are under ultrasonic testing. If you have doubts up to now, please unmute yourself, ask me. I will clear your doubts. Please ask your doubts if you have. If you have any doubts, please ask me. Please unmute yourself and you can ask. సార్ డౌట్లు ఏమన్నా ఉంటే అడగండి. Sir, I am covering the concepts according to our syllabus. Okay, whatever the content is there according to our syllabus, I am covering the total part. Sir, any doubts, please ask me. Sir, only 70 members. 70 members means maximum 70 members only attending for classes. What about remaining 70 members? 70 మంది మాత్రమే క్లాస్కి వస్తున్నారు, మిగిలిన 70 మంది ఏమవుతున్నారు? ఫైనల్ ఇయర్కి వచ్చాక కూడా మినిమం ప్రొఫెషనల్గా ఉండాలి, ఒక బాధ్యతతో ఉండాలని తెలియకపోతే ఎలాగమ్మా? సార్, సమ్ టైమ్స్ సిచ్యువేషన్స్ మే వర్స్. అలాంటి సిచ్యువేషన్స్లో ఆపర్చునిటీస్ అనేవి మనకు ఫేవరబుల్గా దొరకకపోవచ్చు, కానీ అలాంటి సిచ్యువేషన్లో మనకున్న ఆప్షన్స్ని మనం డ్రాప్ అవుట్ చేయడం అనేది వాయిస్ పర్సన్ లక్షణం కాదమ్మా. ఇప్పుడు ఆఫ్లైన్ క్లాసెస్ మీకు పాసిబిలిటీ లేదు, సో ఓన్లీ ఆన్లైన్ క్లాసెస్ మాత్రమే పాసిబిలిటీ ఉంది. ఇలాంటి సిచ్యువేషన్లో సమ్ డిఫికల్టీస్ ఉంటాయి, కానీ ఆ డిఫికల్టీస్ని ఓవర్కమ్ చేయాలి మీరు. ఓకే, ఇప్పుడు ఎవడు రాకపోయినా ఏమనలే అనే ఫీలింగ్లో మీరు ఉన్నారు. రేపు పొద్దున ఇదే జాబ్ అనుకోండి, వర్క్ ఫ్రమ్ హోమ్ చేస్తున్నారు చాలామంది. ఓకే, ఆఫ్లైన్ వర్క్కి ఆన్లైన్ వర్క్కి డిఫరెన్స్ ఉంటుంది. డెఫినెట్లీ దేర్ విల్ బి సమ్ ప్రాబ్లమ్స్, ఎఫెక్టివ్నెస్ కూడా తగ్గుతుంది. స్టిల్ యూ హ్యావ్ టు వర్క్, అదర్వైజ్ యూ కాంట్ సర్వైవ్. సో ఇలాంటి సిచ్యువేషన్స్లో మీరు ఏదో ఆక్తాయితనంగా ఉంటే దానివల్ల యూజ్ ఉండదమ్మా. ప్లీజ్, ఓన్లీ 70 మెంబర్స్ అబ్సెంట్ ఉన్నారంటే, ఓన్లీ 70 మెంబర్స్ ప్రెసెంట్ అంటే మీ ఇర్రెస్పాన్సిబిలిటీ ఏంటో తెలుస్తుంది. ఇలా అంటున్నా అని మీరు అనుకోవద్దు. ఫైనల్ ఇయర్కి వచ్చాక మీరు ఇంత ఇర్రెస్పాన్సిబుల్గా ఉంటే ఎలాగమ్మా? ఇప్పుడు ఇలాంటి పాండమిక్ సిచ్యువేషన్లో కూడా మీరు ఉన్న సోర్సెస్ని యూజ్ చేసుకోకపోతే రేపు పొద్దున్న మీరు ఎలా సర్వే అవుతారు చెప్పండి? ఇదే జాబ్ అయితే మీరు ఏం చేస్తారు? 47 ప్రోబ్ అంటే ఏంటి? ప్రోబ్ అంటే ఏం లేదమ్మా, మామూలుగా ప్రోబ్ ఏదైతే మనం ట్రాన్స్డ్యూసర్ సౌండ్ వేవ్స్ క్రియేట్ చేయడానికి యూజ్ చేస్తామో ఆ వర్క్ మీద మనం దాన్ని సౌండ్ వేవ్ పంపించడానికి వాడే వస్తువు ఉంటుంది కదా, దాన్ని మనం ప్రోబ్ అంటాం. కరెక్ట్గా చెప్పాలంటే జస్ట్ 1 minute, I will show the probe. Wait. 47.
Sir.
I will show the probe, don't worry. Probe అంటే ఏం లేదమ్మా, just the thing which is used for testing the surface of the object. పైన మూవ్ చేస్తాం కదా, దాన్నే ప్రోబ్ అంటాం. ఇందులో మీకు ఒక మిషన్ వచ్చింది కదా లాస్ట్ లో. హలో 47. అందులో ఒక స్టీల్ ది చేత్తో పట్టుకుని దాని మీద మూవ్ చేస్తున్నారు, చూసావా? దాన్నే ప్రోబ్ అంటారు. ప్రోబ్ అంటే ట్రాన్స్డ్యూసర్ అమ్మ. ఏదైతే సౌండ్ వేవ్స్ పంపించడానికి ఆబ్జెక్ట్ లోకి యూజ్ చేస్తాం దాన్ని ప్రోబ్ అంటారు. ఓకే, ఇంకా ఏమైనా డౌట్స్ ఉన్నాయమ్మా? మీకు ఏమైనా డౌట్స్ లేకపోతే ఐ విల్ క్లోజ్ ది సెషన్. 47, don't worry, I will send the pics of probe. Okay, I am closing the session. Thank you very much.